What is going on, everybody? It's Bronson. We're here with a Hell in a Cell 2022 review for June the 5th, 2022. And man, you all look like a bunch of fucking idiots. Anyone out there going, oh my god, the Fiend's gonna return. Where's the Fiend? He's gonna make his return. He's gonna attack Seth Rollins. He's gonna cost Seth Rollins. The Fiend wasn't here. The Fiend was never going to be here. And why would anybody want to see a dead act return to WWE? The Fiend is dead. I don't want to see The Fiend. If Bray Wyatt, when the Rotunda wants to come back and be a different character, that's fine. But The Fiend is dead. It is a dead gimmick. Bringing it back is just beating a dead fucking horse. So anybody thinking The Fiend was going to return is a fucking idiot. Anybody like speculating, someone told me, oh, go check his Twitter account. It's like, why? I've seen it. There's nothing on there telling you he was going to return tonight. He hasn't posted since the 31st. Let me see. That was what? Almost a week ago? Last Tuesday was the last time he posted anything. What in the fucking world did anyone think that Bray Wyatt, when the Rotunda, was going to show up at Hell in a Cell tonight? I really need somebody to tell me where they got that tonight. I did not hear anything, any speculation that The Fiend was going to make his return to WWE tonight. And then all of a sudden this morning, I wake up about 10 o'clock. My girl got me up and calling me and everything, and I'm just like, what? I got done talking to her. I look on socials and I see Bray Wyatt, Fiend. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? There has been nothing that tells you that The Fiend is going to return. So I ask again, who deciphered anything and was like, oh, The Fiend's going to return. He's going to attack Seth Rollins. He's going to join the Judgment Day. He's going to do this. He's going to do that. And then, of course, there was the other thing that happened, the actual legit thing that happened. Cody Rhodes, apparently during the brawl with Seth Rollins on Monday, slightly tore his pec. Then, during a training session, it tore off the bone. When we got to the match tonight, WWE should be absolutely ashamed in that match happening. WWE should be absolutely embarrassed. Cody Rhodes should be absolutely embarrassed. Seth Rollins should be absolutely embarrassed for anyone going, yeah, look at this arm here, look at all this damage, and going, yeah, we should have a Hell in a Cell main event. What they got out of it was the best they could do in that condition, but there is no fucking way that Cody Rhodes, and anybody says, much respect to Cody Rhodes, bullshit. Much respect to Cody for being able to go out there. He is such a tough ass. He's a badass. Bullshit. Cody Rhodes only cares about big fucking moments, and what else would a moment be inside Hell in a Cell if he beat Seth Rollins with one fucking arm? He fought tooth and nail with one fucking good arm. This is one of the reasons I fucking hate Cody Rhodes, because this is all you're gonna see is bullshit like this. That match should have been canceled. That match should have been postponed. Have Drew McIntyre or somebody else come in to take the place of Cody Rhodes. I don't give a shit what you wanted to fucking do. This match could have been held off till Cody came back. And the way it looks like, we might not see Cody Rhodes back until the Royal Rumble, which he could possibly be the winner of the Royal Rumble if WWE wanted to. Or, this is something else people need to realize, and it wouldn't be the first time Vince McMahon did this. Vince McMahon could use this as an excuse to go, well, Cody Rhodes is injury prone. He's not going to be able to handle being WWE champion or Universal champion if he's going to go out there and tear his pec, and then be a fucking moron to go out and wrestle with said torn pec that is supposed to be clearly off the bone. It was clearly off the bone because you could see the last time we had something like this in WWE was when Triple H got injured during the DX versus Brothers of Destruction match, and then he showed us a picture of what a torn pec looked like. That is exactly what it was, only this looked worse. And it got worse and worse during the match. Why would you now granted, Seth Rollins is a professional. Seth Rollins is one of the best out there, and Seth Rollins knows how to get you through a match as best as possible. But there is no excuse. The medical staff should have said, no, Cody, you're not going to wrestle. Vince McMahon should have said, no, Cody, you're not going to wrestle. Every fucking buddy in the back said, sorry, Cody, you're not going to fucking wrestle. As soon as Cody took the coat off, the crowd, which was a hot crowd tonight, this is fucking Chicago, the crowd went silent. The first part of this match was, you could just hear how uncomfortable the crowd in the Allstate Arena was. Just like, what the fuck? How could you wrestle? Like, you could just hear how uncomfortable the entire crowd was watching this match go on and thinking, why the fuck is this match going on? It was ridiculous. No reason for this match to happen tonight. And Cody going over, I know that's the way they want it to be, and that's him shooting his trajectory. But Cody's not going to be here for 4 to 6 months. The way it looks. Torn completely off the bone. Cody Rhodes will not be seen probably for the rest of the year. Unless they do some kind of spot for like Make-A-Wish or, one of those holiday things. But Cody's not going to be in the ring probably the rest of the year. But hey, it is what it is. Nothing else you can say about that. I don't care what anyone says. I have no respect for somebody who goes out there and tries to overshadow the rest of the show because, I'm a tough ass. I have one bad arm. And then you have those fucking dumbasses on social media be like, oh, look at Cody Rhodes. He's a real champion because he's going out there to wrestle while CM Punk is being a pussy and he can't do that. And there is a difference between a broken leg or foot and a torn pectoral muscle. CM Punk's going to get surgery. I'm going to have to tell you this right now. When I was in the 3rd grade, I broke my fucking leg. Don't need to say why, but I had a broken leg in 2 places. I had to be put in a cast. Do you think I was going to be able to walk around, or run around, or do anything else while my leg's in a cast? Fuck no. I had to be in that cast for a few months. You want to know something? That's what CM Punk's going to have to do. Anybody calling CM Punk a pussy for not wrestling while he has a broken fucking leg or foot needs to go fucking piss off, eat a bag of dicks, and shut the fuck up because you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I know what it's like to have a broken leg and being in a cast for a few months. It ain't fun. You can't do shit. You can't walk, you can't run, you can't do shit like that at all. So, anybody want to sit there and try and compare the two things, you need to shut the fuck up. You don't know a damn thing you're talking about. Now, as for the rest of the show, it was a meh show. I mean, you had the Judgment Day versus Finn Balor, AJ Styles, and Liv Morgan. That was a pretty damn good match. Mustafa Ali versus Austin Theory was a burn of a match. I knew if I was WWE, because the United States Championship has absolutely no value to it, I would have had Mustafa Ali win, get the big moment in his hometown, lose it the next night, and move on from there. No. Corbin versus Madcap Moss didn't give a shit. Bobby Lashley versus MVP and Omos did not give a shit. That was predictable as all hell. Elias versus Kevin Owens was predictable. Well, I won't say predictable, but it was boring as hell. And then the Raw Women's Championship match, Asuka, Becky Lynch, and Bianca Belair, was a damn good match. These 3 women went out there and fucking killed it. And they kind of needed to, because outside of that match, the 6-man mixed tag, and Mustafa Ali versus Austin Theory, the stuff in the middle just kind of dragged the show down. Like, seriously, I don't think anybody went into this show is like, yeah, I can't wait to see Madcap Moss versus Happy Corbin. I mean, seriously. You supposedly Corbin killed the Madcap Moss gimmick. Why is he still being called Madcap Moss? Come up with a new name. Maybe just go back to Riddick Moss. How about Mad Max Moss? I mean, yeah, well, Mad Max is, but you're calling him Mad Max Moss. I think that would be a badass name. It would be a take on him. Say maybe he's a fan of the Mad Max franchise. It's not just putting the Moss name at the end should save you from legalities because you are Mad Max Moss. I don't know, something other than Madcap, which makes no sense. He's not wearing the suspenders, he's not wearing the jeans, shorts, and he's not wearing a hat anymore. So why is he still being called Madcap? That's just me. Lashley versus MVP and Omos, that was so predictable. How are you going to expect me to get excited for a match that has MVP and Omos versus Bobby Lashley, when clearly the only reason you make it a handicap match is so that MVP gets put in the hurt lock, and can tap out. That was the only thing about that match. Is obviously that was gonna fucking happen. What else can you say? Ezekiel versus Kevin Owens, I took up. That was a bathroom break match because I know I should have did it versus when MVP and Omos were taking on Bobby Lashley, but I didn't. But yeah, Ezekiel, Kevin Owens, did not really care. I just want this to be over with. All I can say about that. So, not going to do a terribly long, like, blow-for-blow move, because this is just one of those pay-per-views. It's a C-level pay-per-view. Not even a B-level. This is a C-level. So, Asuka, Becky Lynch, and Bianca Belair opened the match. Very hard opening. This was... the one thing I love about pay-per-views and TV shows that have hot opening matches is that it gets you excited. It gets you pumped for the rest of the show. The talent goes out there. They bust their asses. They go out there and give you the best damn match they can give you. Nobody, and especially these three women, they went out there and it was like, obviously, Bianca Belair needed to win. There was no way she's losing right now. And then, so these three women out there, they put their bodies on the line. They went out there, had themselves a hell of a match. And of course, Becky Lynch, for the majority, like a lot of the match towards the end, was trying to steal the victory. Every time, like, Asuka would hit a big move, she would throw her out of the ring, try to pin Bianca. Every time Bianca would hit a big move, Becky would throw Bianca out of the ring, try to get the pinfall, and every time it would fall back. And then, of course, she hits the manhandle slam on Asuka. Bianca gets her, tosses her out of the ring, 1, 2, 3, picks up the win, and beats Becky at her own game. I really wish they would treat Asuka a lot better than they are. Asuka is amazing. Asuka is great. I think she should be given a lot more than they are letting her have. And yeah, this sucks that they have Asuka go out there and look just like this every single time. So Asuka wins. Bianca Belair wins. Backstage, Omos gives, MVP gives the pep talk. Cedric Alexander ups and wants to hash down his role in their plan for tonight. MVP says Cedric has received multiple opportunities to help them and hasn't gotten the job done. He says the Hurt Business is done. Omos tells Cedric it's time for him to go, and he leaves. I did not give one shit about this match. I went over and did a couple things on my TV, played a little bit of Switch here and there, just, Switch games, not, really paying attention to this match. Basically, Cedric Alexander causes a distraction, lets Omos get speared by Bobby Lashley. MVP gets tagged in, put into the Hurt Lock, and MVP taps out. What else did you fucking expect? There's also a spot where Omos put Bobby Lashley through the barricade and tried to get a count-out victory. So that was that. Nothing else really to say. Commentary recaps the news that Cody Rhodes suffered a torn pectoral muscle but will compete against Seth Rollins in the Hell in a Cell match later tonight. Kevin Owens versus Elias. I don't give a shit about this. This needs to be the end of this feud completely. Kevin Owens hits the stunner. 1, 2, 3. He beats Elias, and that's that. Where does it go from here? Do not care. Ezekiel, Elias, whatever you want to call him, can, in my opinion, go run around looking for the 24/7 championship. For all I care. So then we go to the 6-person tag match. AJ Styles, Finn Balor, and Liv Morgan versus the Judgment Day. What the fuck was Rhea Ripley wearing? My God, the purple sleeve that, I have no idea who did her attire tonight. You should be, I don't know. That shit was crazy. So the biggest question going in this match was who is going to join the Judgment Day. Edge, for the last few weeks, has been teasing that somebody might join them. I heard rumors we've heard from the start that it's going to be Rhea Ripley, Damian Priest, and Tommaso Ciampa joining Edge. We got 2 of those 3 right now. And so I figured if this was going to be a time for somebody to join Judgment Day, for Ciampa to join Judgment Day, it would be tonight. So we had ourselves a 6-person tag here. Obviously, the men fight the men, the women fight the women. Commentary did mention during this match that, halfway through the match, that Finn Balor pretty much took the brunt of the attack of the Judgment Day, leaving AJ and Liv Morgan on the outside. Of course, AJ would tag in, hot tag, get his licks in on the Judgment Day. Beautiful sliding knee to the outside onto Damian Priest. Eventually, Liv Morgan does get tagged in, which I hate the way they do this because it's men versus men, women versus women. You have both AJ Styles and Edge in the ring trying to get to their respective corners to tag in their partners. It's a mixed tag match, so the second Ripley tags in, Liv Morgan has to come in. You don't have to sit there and both tag. It's just so stupid. It's dumb. It's literally dumb. But she tags in. They go hog wild on each other for a while. Eventually, Finn Balor, towards the end of the match, has Edge down, prone, ready to strike with the coup de grace. And I'm thinking immediately, lights go off. We're going to have our fourth member. No. Rhea Ripley gets in between and just like, you ain't doing shit. Obviously, Liv Morgan jumps on her back to get her out of the ring. This allows Edge to move from the coup de grace, hit the spear, 1, 2, 3. Judgment Day, pick up the win. And we don't have a fourth member join the Judgment Day. I've heard people speculate that Finn Balor would be the one to join the Judgment Day. Well, Finn Balor's kind of laying on the mat right now, holding his stomach, going, what the fuck did I get into? So he was not going to have any way of joining the Judgment Day tonight. So we're going to recap of Bobby Lashley defeating Omos and MVP. He walks up to Cedric Alexander like, dude, what the hell was that? It looks like that wasn't for you. That was for me. I'm tired of being used as a toy, so I'm going to try and stand up my own 2 feet. Bobby Lashley's like, dude, I respect you for that. Just don't try and get in the middle of my matches ever again. Cedric's like, okay. They fist bump, and that was that. So, good on him. No holds barred match, Happy Corbin versus Madcap Moss, and, you mean to tell me this is the only SmackDown match? You mean to tell me you brought Samantha Irvine to Chicago and Michael Cole to Chicago to call one match? I mean, she is the ring announcer. You just couldn't have the Raw crew do the entire show. That's just me. Again, these two beat the hell out of each other. Chair. I think they used the chair mostly, if anything else. It was pretty much just a chair for the most part. Madcap Moss then he Pillmanizes Corbin with the chair with the steel steps, allowing him to pick up the win, and Madcap Moss picked up the win, defeating Corbin. This has got to be fucking it. No more between Madcap Moss and Baron Corbin. I am done. Let Madcap Moss go and do something else. So, then we move on to Mustafa Ali versus Austin Theory. Great match. This was, I think, this and the women's match to start the night were the two best matches on the night. This match showed WWE, showed Vince McMahon, do not bury Mustafa Ali. This was him showing you that if Vince McMahon would actually give him an inch, he would take a mile in a good way and be able to be a healthy competitor for a healthy piece of the machine that could help bolster that mid-card for the United States Championship, or go to SmackDown and go for the Intercontinental Championship. Do I see Mustafa Ali ever challenging for the big championship? Absolutely not. Maybe he gets a tag team partner and they go for the tag team championships. Mustafa Ali showed you tonight that he could be a big name player for WWE. One of those guys who could win the U.S. Championship and hold that title and try and give it a little bit of meaning. Again, WWE does not... There was an awesome... Theory went up top. Well, I'm sorry. Mustafa Ali went up top. Theory joined him, and it looked like he slipped because he was going for a Spanish fly. It looked like he slipped and was able to roll around and hit a modified Spanish fly, which looked fucking beautiful. But Ali had him in an STF. Didn't work enough. Tilt-a-whirl DDT. Theory was draped across the middle rope. Ali again goes up top, misses the 450, which I believe he did get he did hit Austin Theory in the stomach, but Theory picks him up, hits the A-Town down, 1, 2, 3, and Austin Theory picks up the win. Honestly, yes, Austin Theory should not have lost the match, but if you want to get a moment, you want to talk about a moment to do, I would have had Theory lose tonight. Get that big moment, that big picture of him running into the crowd, celebrating with his hometown fellas, men and women, and children of Chicago. Give him that big, huge moment, then tomorrow night have him get screwed out of the title and give it back to Austin Theory. That's what I would have went with, but WWE doesn't like to have moments. Hell in a Cell, Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins. Seth comes to the ring, pulls off his jacket, and he's got himself some polka dot sweatpants and a jacket. He looks like a very thin, very bearded Dusty Rhodes cosplayer. Fucking Seth Rollins. So Cody comes out. You see a little bit of red on his chest because he's got his big jacket on. Everything's hidden on his shoulder, like how bad he really is injured. You see a little bit of red, like maybe somebody punched him and like he got a punch in the chest, or he like smacked his chest with his fist and left a little bit of mark. That's all you saw when he came out. He takes the jacket off, and on his right pectoral, you just see the most. I just can't even describe it. Like the crowd was like, yeah, to stop. First 7 or 8 minutes of this match, the crowd was deathly silent. I do not care how much this means to Cody. I do not care how much WWE needed to have a main event match. You could have found anybody in the back, or had somebody from the SmackDown brand come to Hell in a Cell and take Cody's place. Cody came out there and gave you, I will say, it should be commended if you want to, but I think it's fucking foolish. Yes, going out there with the wrong person, Cody Rhodes would probably never be able to wrestle again because they would have been careless, they would have been reckless, and they more reckless than Cody was being, and Cody would have been hurt and been out for a fucking year probably. But you could tell from the time the match started to the time the match ended, not in the arm as much, but like the pectoral area, it went and it looked like a blood vessel popped. How red his chest was becoming from inside. This was a stupid thing to do. I do not give a shit how much Cody wanted to do this match. Cody was in no condition to wrestle. Yes, winning the match with one arm, oh, that is such a brave thing. No, it's not. It's fucking foolish. Cody Rhodes has a full pectoral tear off the bone. He is going to be gone for majority, if not the rest, of 2022. This hurts Monday Night Raw. Now, but during the middle of the match, towards the middle of the match, Cody Rhodes goes underneath the ring and pulls out a bull rope. Fastens it to his good arm. Throws it over the Seth and says, dude, put it on. He tells him to put it on. Says whatever else, and fucking Seth puts it on. So this match went from a Hell in a Cell to a bull rope Hell in a Cell match for a minute. Like, what in the fuck am I watching? But Seth brings a table in. The crowd goes completely ballistic. Like, thank you, Seth. Thank you, Seth. Like, why? I still don't get why fans are so obsessed with tables. Not chairs. I mean, they love thumbtacks. They love glass, maybe somewhat. But it's like the biggest pop of a weapon always seems to be the table. I don't understand why. I just don't understand why. Yeah, Rollins hitting the crossroads. Cody hitting the crossroads. The sledgehammer gets involved. The same sledgehammer that caused the match to go, the match to get thrown out in 2019 between the Fiend and Seth Rollins. And Cody hits a second shot, hits two crossroads, hits the sledgehammer, 1, 2, 3, and he beats Seth Rollins with one arm. What happens now for Monday Night Raw? Cody's going to be out for a long while. We're not going to see Cody. He's going to miss SummerSlam. He's going to miss Clash at the Castle. He's going to miss every pay-per-view up in, like I said. We probably won't see Cody Rhodes again if he's going to be out for 6 months. Till the Royal Rumble. There was if he's not back until if he doesn't get cleared till December, what's the point of bringing him back until the Royal Rumble? You bring him back in the Rumble if you really want to have him have this push to be the possible winner of the Royal Rumble. I mean the WWE Championship. You don't bring him back till the Royal Rumble. You keep him under wraps. You keep him away from everybody. You tell him you don't tell a fucking soul. We're going to keep you safe. We're going to keep you out of the public eye. you're going to come back in the Royal Rumble, and he's going to win the Rumble, and that's what you could do with Cody Rhodes if that's what you want to fucking do. Other than that, I don't know what they do with Cody. Like I said, this could be one of those things that, remember Finn Balor? WWE had plans for Finn Balor. He was the first ever Universal Champion and had to relinquish that title the next night because of an arm injury. Who's to say Vince McMahon goes, well, that's all we did for Cody. We got to move on. And Cody Rhodes comes back and isn't up where he was when he left. This could be a push killer for Cody, which I'm not saying it's going to, but this could be a push killer for Cody. We don't know. All we have to do is just sit there, wait, watch, and see what happens with Cody Rhodes. If he's only gone for like 4 months, then we'll be back around October time. But honestly, if I'm WWE, I don't care if he's back in 3 months. I don't care if he's back in 6 months. I'd keep him out till the Rumble. Why? Get that big, huge, oh my god, it's Cody Rhodes, he's coming back. To the people who actually care. I fucking hate the fact that they even had this match tonight. This was absolutely, I want to know what the match was. Now it's like, what would the match have been if Cody wasn't injured? But I do not like the fact that Cody went, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to prove everybody that I'm not a bitch. You're a moron who risked even further injury to the point that if it wasn't with Seth Rollins, if you would have been wrestling like some other talent who don't take care of their opponents as much as Seth Rollins can, you could have been injured far worse than you are right now. What happens with the Women's Championship on Raw? Well, obviously, Becky Lynch is going to say, well, I didn't get pinned, so I get another match. And that's going to be what happens. She's going to ask for a match. She's going to get that match because she wasn't the one to get pinned. What happens with the U.S. Championship? I don't fucking know. Obviously, I guess they could go run it back with Mustafa Ali if they want to, but why would they? He got beat clean in a pretty good match. Hell in a Cell was pretty much Monday Night Raw on Sunday. It pretty much was. Monday Night Raw is going to be hurting. More than it already has been. What can you do? Monday Night Raw just lost. Monday Night Raw just lost its most pushed star for probably 6 months to a year. No, I'm not going to say it. I'm sorry. 6 months to the Rumble. I'd say if everything goes the way it should, we probably won't see Cody Rhodes again until the Royal Rumble. I could be wrong. We'll have to wait and see. But Hell in a Cell, it was a decent show. Like I said, the women's triple threat match and Mustafa Ali and Austin Theory were the best matches of the night. I could not condone the fact that they went out there and even allowed Cody Rhodes to have that match. But hey, if he's out for a lot longer than he was supposed to be because of this injury, they ain't got no one to blame but themselves. That's going to be all for your Hell in a Cell review. Hit that subscribe button, comment down below, like or dislike this video. Find me on Minds at the Frowns Club. Find me on twitch.tv/the Frowns Club. And find me on Instagram at the Frowns Club. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for Monday Night Raw. Until then, my name is the Frowns, and I'll see you guys later.